Namaste all you fragrant people and welcome to Om Incense Show with DJ, a show that helps you increase your incense quotient. So if you are an incense enthusiast, consider subscribing. So today we have this incense from Cycle brand. So we have this fruity fragrance from Cycle brand called Anarasiya, and this is flute agarbatti. So we have it something like this. There's a lot of pineapple there. The whole thing is done in green because of course to show pineapple, so green and white is there, so we see this, and the branding on both the sides is in English. Anarasiya is a trademark name. It says tangy and juicy. On one side we have all of the logos that they have, so zero carbon, plant, sacred, native trees. Yeah, so of course, like all of us know that Cycle brand, there are many incense brands that plant trees. In fact, there are many brands these days who plant trees as part of their CSR, the corporate social responsibility. However, there is one very special thing about Cycle brand is that they make sure that they plant native trees, which are sacred native trees of that area, especially around the temple. So that's one thing I really like about Cycle brand. In fact, there are so many other things also that I like about Cycle brand. For one, I really like the fact that it's a breeze to shop on cyclebrand.in. So you can just visit cycle.in and you can purchase even one pack and they're going to send you. Unlike very many other traditional incense brands who are mostly geared towards wholesale of the incenses, so they're mostly for wholesalers, but this is nice. This is for the retailers. And we also, Cycle brand also has this service where they give customized incenses, so you can get your own dhoop made, dhoop powder, incense, or bambooless incense, anything like that. And you have a whole range of fragrances that you can choose from. So anyway, let's talk about Anarasiya. So this is Anarasiya that we have today, and both the opening says flute agarbatti like that. And in fact, in their flute agarbatti range, they have quite a few fragrances, fruity fragrances. Like we've tried Amarasiya, we tried Coco Neer. So we have this, and I think these are the three fruity fragrances that they have. And there's one in Leah, which is a mixed fruit fragrance. So I'll be trying that sometime. This is 126 gram of incense for 50. So they have this matchstick, then the usual, red type of colored Cycle brand. So if you can see this is the matchstick that you get with it. And it says there are around what, 40 matchsticks in that box. So we have that. Yes, one matchbox of 40 matchsticks. So this is what we have. Now when we open the pack, we get two Cycle brand, they have this branded pouches. So two of these pouches we get, and if we talk of quantity, there will be around 40 incense in one, so there will be around 80 incenses. That's a nice good range, the good quality of quantity that you get. What we get inside are this 9-inch machine made dipped incenses, black incenses, and we have the bamboo core, which is yellow in color. It's smooth and sturdy. This is what we have. And going by its length, it's going to be there around for around 40-45 minutes, something like that. Oh, you know what, this fragrance, so they say juicy and tangy, and they've shown pineapple, but actually the kind of fragrance that you get from this is not fresh fruit pineapple, but the toffee, the pineapple toffee. If you ever had pineapple toffee, this is actually going to remind you of that. Or those canned pineapples that we have, which is nice, rich, syrupy. It has a lot of sweetness to it. That's the kind of fragrance that you get from this. If you're going to give this to your children in the house, they're going to sniff it. They keep going to, they might just even eat it. It's like that. So that's the kind of fragrance that you get in the top note. It's a nice, juicy, rich, syrupy, very sweet kind of fragrance. Made my mouth, I'm drooling right now. So that's the kind of incense this is. Now when the incense comes to life, so the fragrance that we get from this is not as sweet as it was there in the top note. The sweetness is still there, and it's like they said, it's that nice and juicy, but of course you get that incense note in this, so you're not going to feel as though you're surrounded by pineapple. But yes, you can make out that there's an incense which smells like a pineapple, which has a very good, nice, fruity fragrance. And if you like fruity fragrances, you would like this. If we talk of The intensity wise, it's mid-mild. It's neither very hard nor very mild, so it's not going to be just lit up somewhere and not inviting your attention. It is very much going to invite your attention, and you're going to be sure that there's an incense lit up somewhere with a nice fruity fragrance. And if you stay there longer, you might just be able to make out that it's pineapple fragrance, and it's not going to hit you. But if you are somebody who doesn't like fruity fragrances, or if you don't like incense at all, because there are so many people like that, then of course that's a different case. But for normal people who like incenses and who like sweet kind of fragrances, specifically fruity fragrances, that you're going to like this. If we talk of diffusion, the diffusion is in my entire house, so given the capacity, it's going to diffuse to a large area, and the retention is around 2 to 3 hours. So that's the kind of retention this is. So if you have a gathering in your house related to food, so if there are times when we call people for food for religious purposes or any other thing, even if you have a party at home, if you specifically have kids party at home, this is going to be really good. This is going to whet their appetite. It's going to make them feel hungry, because it's really going to make them drool. It's going to make their mouth water, because the fruity fragrance is like really nice, and it has that sweetness which actually makes you feel like eating it. So that's the kind of fragrance this is. So if you like fruity fragrances, you would like this. If you like their Anarasiya, or if you like their coconut, then you might want to try this. And like I said, it's a breeze to shop on cycle.in. Just visit it, just pick up even one pack, it's going to be sent to you. You can of course try your local pansari store and ask them if they if they have this incense, but of course it's easier to order it online if you don't have it there. So that's the kind of incense this is. I like their Anarasiya more, because I like the fragrance of mango more. However, this is a nice fragrance, and I'm going to give it a star rating of 3. So that's Anarasiya with a star rating of 3. So that's the quiz that we had today. Now the question that we had last time was, name the incense brand from Cycle, which is name one of the incense variants, which is made of flowers. With the flower cycled incense of Cycle brand. So the answer is Pushkarani. So that's the quiz that we had last time. Now the quiz that we have today is, name the fruity fragrance from Cycle brand which has the fragrance of coconut to it. So that's the quiz for today. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and you learned something from it. If you think somebody else can learn something from it, to share it with them. This is Dolly Cha here, and I thank you so much for watching this episode. Till we meet again next, take very good care of yourself. Namaste.